Hello, thank you so much for your time and thanks for the click. My name is Darlin Fee. I welcome you specially to this program where we use techniques to make mathematics very easy for you to understand. Now today we want to use the calculator in solving polynomials involving unknown values. Now the purpose is to make examination very easy for everybody. And so we want to encourage those who are yet to subscribe. You see, it is very important, and that is a motivation that you can give us. Besides, if you subscribe, YouTube will always make sure that any new video we upload, you will be the one of the first people to get notification. Not yet a subscriber, it means you are likely not to see a lot of the videos that we are going to upload on this platform. And so if you are ready, let's use the calculator to solve. Okay, so now we want to solve the first question using the calculator. The question actually says, what value of k will make x minus 2 a factor of x cubed minus x squared minus 14x plus k? So we have the possible answers here. Now we should be able to use calculator to solve this. So how do we go by it? First, we are going to enter the function on the calculator. So x cubed minus x squared minus 14x plus k. We are going to enter this on the calculator. But mind you, on the calculator we have some variables. That is a, b, c, d, e, f, x, y, m. We don't have k on the calculator. So for the purpose of this presentation and for your examination, where you see k, we can use the letter a to replace the k. So let's enter it on the calculator. So first I have alpha, then x cubed, so shifts and then the square, then minus x squared, so alpha x, and then I square it. Then I have minus 14x, so 14 alpha x, and then plus k. This is where we said that we don't have k on it. So in place of the k, I want to use the letter a. So I press the alpha and then a on it. So we have now entered this expression on the calculator. Now the question says that x minus 2 is a factor. Okay, it's a factor of this function, meaning we should be able to find the value of x by equating this to 0. So when we equate x minus 2 is equal to 0, we will get the value of x to be positive 2. So let's note that one down. Now, because this is a factor, when we put the x value, that is the 2, when we put it into this function, we should be able to give us 0. So in solving it, we should always remember to equate the function to 0. How do we do it? You press the alpha, and then there is equal sign just below the shifts. And so you press that equal sign. So first you press alpha, and then you press this, you have is equal to sign coming. And then because this is a factor, that means we are going to equate this to 0. So it's equal to, then I bring the 0 here. So that is the second thing that we need to know. First, you must enter the function on the calculator. And then second, because you are given a factor, you must equate the function to 0. That is what we have done. Now the most important thing we are going to do right now is this. We are now going to program the calculator to find the value of this a. And how do we program the calculator? Simply press shifts. So I press shifts, and then you press the comma. So you can see comma symbol here. So you press this. So for you to get the comma sign appearing, remember, you press shifts and then you press the comma, you are getting it. Now we are going to program the calculator to find the a. So once you have the comma coming, now we want to program the calculator by finding the a. How do we do it? Simply press alpha and then you press the E. So this is what we are doing. So let me explain this. The comma and then the E, what it simply means is that you are telling the calculator that you are looking for the value of A. Now, assuming you were using a different variable here, let's say B or C, then it means here too will be B or C. So remember, whatever letter you have here, that same letter should be repeated after the comma. Okay, so now we have programmed the calculator to find A. So how do we get the A? This is how we go by it. You must first press shift. So I press shift. And then you press the calc or the solve button. So I press the calc. The calculator will ask you what value of X are you going to use to find the value of A. How do we get that value? That value will come from the factor. So you equate the factor to 0. And then so X minus 2 is equal to 0. When you solve this, you will get the value of X to be 2. And so we are now going to put 2 into this. So simply press the 2 and then you press is equal to. Calculator is asking you, are you sure you are looking for A? If yes, then press the equal sign again. So remember the first one, you press the equal sign button and then you are getting this solve for A. When you are sure you want to solve for A, simply press the equal sign button again and then it will give you the value of A. So here you see that A is equal to 24. But please, one thing you need to know is that if you look at this, L minus R, that is from left to right, this place must always be 0. Okay, so once you are seeing 0 here, that means the value of A is correct. Okay, if you are seeing L minus R is equal to 0, then it is telling you that whatever value you have for A is correct. So now let's see our possible answers, and then you can see that the right answer is B, that is the 24, and that's we are done for question 1. Now let's go to the second question to understand it very well. So now we come to the second question, and the question says determine the value of A if x plus 2 is a factor of x cubed minus ax squared plus 7 plus 10. So here, lucky enough, the variable we are looking for is A. So we are looking for A, and thankfully we have A on the calculator. So remember, the question says that x plus 2 is a factor. Okay, so x plus 2 is a factor. That means we have to equate x plus 2 is equal to 0 to determine the value of x, and that will give us x is equal to negative 2. So when you enter the function on the calculator and you are asked what is the value of x, remember it is going to be negative 2. So let's now input this on the calculator. Now we have x cubed, so alpha x, and then shifts, and then square, and then minus ax squared, so alpha e, and then alpha x, you square the x, and then plus 7x, so 7 alpha x, and then plus 10, so we have plus 10. Okay, so you want to be sure that you have actually entered exactly what the function is, and now I am sure I have done the right thing. The next thing to do is that because x plus a is a factor, that means when we put it into this function, we are going to get is equal to 0. So remember to equate the function into 0. So to do that, you press alpha and then you press the equal sign just below the shift button. So I press it, I have it, and then you equate it to 0, so it's equal to 0. Once again, what are we looking for? In the question, we are looking for A. In the expression we have on the calculator, we also have A there. Now we will need to program the calculator to find A. How do we program the calculator? you must first press shift and then you press comma. So we have comma here, so you press the comma. And then what are we looking for? We are looking for A. So let's program the calculator to find A by pressing alpha and then you press the A. So it means we are now going to look for the value of A. And then the next thing to do is that you press shift and then you press the calc button. It will ask you what value of X are you going to use to find the value of A. Remember, to get the value of X, you must always look at the factor and then you equate the factor to 0. So the factor is X plus 2. When we equate this to 0, X is going to be negative 2. So the value of X that we are going to use is going to be negative 2. So you press minus and then you press 2. Then you hit the equal sign button. Now it is asking you, are you sure you still want to find A? If you are sure, then go back and press the equal sign button again. So once I press the equal sign button, now I have an answer. Remember, I told you to be sure, always L minus R should give you 0. So once I have this, then I know that whatever answer I am getting for A is correct. So the calculator is saying that the A is equal to negative 3. Now I want to go through the possible answers to see if I have negative 3. And obviously C is the right option. So the right answer for this example is option C. And we are done. Now